If Jordan gets the speakership, is Jordan ready for that?
Mr. President, what are your thoughts on the trial so far? You've been listening to the witness testimony.
The trial is going very well, but we don't have a jury. So I have no idea what happens with this. The trial's going very well. Deutsche Bank testified that, first of all, the loans were paid off. There was no default. There was no problem. There's no victim except me. I'm the victim here. There's no victim. There's no victim whatsoever. This is just a witch hunt by an attorney general that ran for governor and failed. She used me because she ran for governor and she failed. There were no defaults. Every loan was perfect. They were all paid off. If they ever did this to anybody else, any other business person, what they would find would be ridiculous. You know what they find with us? Nothing. There's nothing. The loans were perfect. The loans were paid off. All interest was paid. There was no defaults. I never even received a default letter. And I got plaques and trophies from the institutions in many cases for having done such a good job, which we're going to be presenting in trial. This is just a railroad job. It's a witch hunt with no jury, and it's a runaway freight train, and it's a disgrace. And any business that moved into New York should not do it. You should stay the hell out of here, because I'll tell you what, this is a corrupt system that we're in.
Why do you think your family is being persecuted? What do you think about Cohen not being
I'll tell you what, Cohen didn't have the guts, but I'll tell you why my family is being persecuted.
Yes,
because I'm leading in the polls against Biden by a lot. You saw Washington Post the other day came out, ABC fake news. Maybe it is fake, I don't know. But we were leading by 10 or 11 points. Yesterday another one came out, we're leading Biden by 6 points. And that's why, and we're leading the Republicans, we're leading the Sanctimonious by 60 points, 60 points more. And that's why this is happening. If this weren't happening, if I weren't running for president and doing so well, winning, it wouldn't be happening. You know what happened in 2016? And you know what happened in 2020? We did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016. Getting millions and millions more votes. People don't like to talk about that. But got millions and millions more votes. That's why this is happening. That's the only reason it's happening. I hope that, for Speaker, I hope that Jim is doing well. You'll have to tell me I've been wasting time on a railroaded court. I should be entitled, excuse me, I should be entitled to a jury, like anybody else is entitled to a jury. But this case should have never been brought. It's an insult. Remember this, the financial statements are very conservative. The real numbers are more. They're conservative financial. They said, oh, the financial statements are valued higher. The financial statements are at a lower number. They're conservative. So there is no fraud. Number two, we have a reliance clause. We have what's called a disclaimer right up front, all over it. All over the financial. It says don't rely on these financial statements. Do your own due diligence. Do your own analysis. So there's no fraud. And number three, I said before, I'm being tried under a statute that nobody has ever been tried under. That doesn't give me a jury, that doesn't give me any rights whatsoever. They can do whatever they want. And it's a disgrace. Now it's turned out that I have great financial statements. It's turned out that the company is worth much more than the financial statements. They were saying just the opposite. They valued things at ridiculous numbers, like Mar-a-Lago at $18 million, when it's worth perhaps 100 times that amount. Perhaps 100 times. The fact is we have a corrupt legal system in New York City and New York State. And you know what? We have a corrupt legal system in our country. The DOJ is corrupt, and they're leading this whole thing for election interference. Thank you very much.
Are you going to come back and waste some time again, sir?
Are you coming back tomorrow?